run from it, hide from it. Destiny arrives all the same. Game 5 between Team Liquid Academy and 100 Thieves Academy is here.
I was not expecting this. I know Magical was looking for it. I know Kangas was looking for it, but the rest of us, we're here along for the ride.
Bazell too.
It has been one of the best rides I think I have ever been on. These teams have been playing their hearts out for 5 games straight, and their entire season comes down to a single game.
The manner of these games too, like it is not only Team Liquid like just winning. They are stomping in the games that they have taken. And then 100 Thieves, the games that they've won, it has just been back and forth, blood baths, making things messy, getting so messy. My speech is getting slurred, and we're just going to have to see what happens to cap this all off, as it has been a crazy conclusion.
Obviously, the long series has taken a toll on us, but you have to imagine, how does it take a toll on these two teams? Because they are the ones now that have had to go through 4 back-to-back games, very different in their own right.
And the big people that we have to start asking this of in particular is our rookies, Bradley, Wixie, Busio, some of the players with the least experience now on the biggest stage of their lives, the biggest game that they have ever played up until this point. And if they have the resilience to showcase that they are going to continue being able to perform, that is the mark of a future champion.
I just love seeing Team Liquid's cams. Again, this is the team that has the experience. They've been in this situation time and time again against 100 Thieves. You can see them just taking a deep breath, getting their breathing in, eyes shut, getting ready to focus. And we'll see if they can bring the focus they need to take down 100 Thieves, something they have not done in a best of 5 since our Academy Summer Playoffs.
And here we go, right? Game 5. It is no longer a best of 5. It is a best of 1. You look at the past 4 games, you write them off. You no longer look backwards. You have to look forward if you want the winning mentality.
We're going back to the Trinmere bands. The gangplank is on the table, but 100 Thieves does not want any bit of it. And so we're looking at a very similar draft to our game 4, and it is LeBlanc, the priority at the end of the day. Our 2 best LeBlanc players, and it's Harry that gets to play it.
8-1 on the champ. Throughout this season, it was so good in the game 3. Jimmyans was good as well. And we'll see if Jimmyan takes the handshake. Gotta believe it's going to be Ari locked in at one point. But instead, 100 Thieves, the bot lane, Wixie, 5th game on the Jinx. They are sticking to it.
It's been good so far. We saw that he was able to play it without the Tom Kench. We saw that he was able to play it without the Thresh. Now he's looking like he has the confidence to continue doing it in this last spot. But we are going right on back to the same matchup. Jimmyan just won this from the other side.
And 100 Thieves are waiting out for the Trundle once again, but this time it is the early Renata lock-in. So now, do 100 Thieves want to counterpick support right now?
That deters the Nautilus pick. It also deters the Tom Kench. We have seen Ayla win that matchup earlier, but it might just be comfort for Kenvi. This Kindred, it's yet to lose in this tournament. It is his best champion. Graves was taken off the board. If he blinds this, my goodness, we'll have to see what Armeo can throw into it.
That is the confidence coming out from 100 Thieves off the back of a blood, tooth, and nail pulled game that they had to just claw through to get this far.
And this is the kind of game, right? We looked at it yesterday. We looked at it with Chad previously in the tournament. When it comes down to it, what player is going to go up to their coach? What player is going to say, give me the tools to carry? This is Kenvi going right on back to one of his most iconic champions, something that he has been playing for his entire academy, his entire amateur run.
And where my eyes kind of look at the moment, it's displacement. What are things that can take you off the Lamb's respite? And Renata has a tad bit of that. Something else that has a lot of it, maybe a Gragas on the side of Team Liquid, having that task against the Kindred. We'll see if that ends up being a pick, as Team Liquid at the moment, maybe taking away that Gnar. To me, that says they want to set up Camille again.
That would surprise me. Bradley had, you know, some decent performances. He did some cool things in the side lane. But going back to it, I feel like you do want some of that displacement. You want to create space, but it's another thing, right? We saw some mind games with the bans last time around as the Jace comes off the table. I feel like we're looking at Bradley has to either play the Camille or maybe the Gragas.
Team Liquid Academy, what is the last ban that is on the table for you? You still can look at things to take off from Busio, or you can further diminish Gamsu's remaining champion pool.
trying to think of what Busio wants to play in this position, right? We've seen him have some enchanters. He's played the Rumble, he's played the Nasus. He's willing to play unusual things on the stage. And as the Aatrox gets banned away, that says to me something more unusual. I feel like the Gragas is much more likely in this spot than
that's like the answer to like Scion and Gragas is Aatrox. So
Exactly.
I think that's where we're looking for Bradley. And if it's Bradley, we're expecting the Gragas.
He goes for the Con anyway.
Oh, okay.
This has been a fantastic pick for Busio this entire tournament.
7-1.
It is his most played 7-1. He normally plays it with a Xayah, but he'll do it anyway.
If we go back to yesterday's series against Golden Guardians, it was that flank paired along the rest of 100 Thieves that got them. And baby is right. It is turning out the lights time as Team Liquid want to turn out the lights for 100 Thieves return come.
This is his first play on Scion in all of Proving Grounds. He played it one time during the Academy season, but we're going to be going back to a take matchup. This is completely inverting the priority of this game from the top side to the bottom.
This is really interesting to me because Team Liquid, that Nocturne into Kindred, you think about it, the Lamb's Respite, it's good against dive. But I think that it's Armeo saying, you know what, I don't care. Team Liquid saying, we're going to stick to our game. We're going to stick to what we have prepared. And to be fair, his Nocturne, it is 3-0 in this tournament. One of the champions that he's been playing more games on. But man, looking at both these drafts, I got to believe, I like what 100 Thieves has.
Yeah, I mean, the one other thing I want to go about Nocturne before we look at 100 Thieves is this is what Team Liquid were playing in summer when push came to shove. We saw that Armeo would go to, we saw his ability to set up fights, and it allows Bradley to get in, it allows Harry to find flanks, it allows Jan to completely ignore the Ahri, because Ahri's never going to get in range.
You feel that, gents? That's
The
the tension building up. We have just seen these two teams duke it out over the past 4 hours, going back and forth in fashion of how the games played out. Dominant games 1 and 3 from Team Liquid, a return to form from 100 Thieves being able to claw back despite Team Liquid trying to pin them down on their road to redemption, where it is 100 Thieves. It is their throne. It is their defending title on the line as we head into the last game of Proving Ground Spring 2022.
And Cubby, I feel like we got to give a shout out to one of our most powerful Twitter users that constantly looks at us, Golden Glue's mom. We got to know, I can never cast 100 Thieves wins. Cubby can never cast 100 Thieves losses. What power is going to come through? 100 Thieves is going to be going right down the middle.
Oh, man. Well, that's one way to kick into Game 5.
It's the right way.
I can't imagine the stress that she's going through on the sidelines, though.
Yeah. I mean, shout out to supportive moms, though, but Team Liquid got to give up a lot of space. And this is the first really aggressive push from 100 Thieves since Game 1.
It will be answered, though, by Team Liquid on the bot side as proactive Trinket from Jan likely to be dropped, scouting out where Kenvi might start. And again, Kenvi on this Kindred, if he gets the jump on Nocturne, at any point, can be lethal for Armeo. Vice versa as well. If Armeo is able to sit in a brush and the Kindred face checks, that's a flash burned by Kenvi immediately. You can follow that up with the tether. I'm really curious to see how these two junglers go toe-to-toe again. Two of the best junglers that we have in the league. The two junglers that were in Europe in Game 5 of the Proving Grounds Summer Finals. They're the ones that are playing in this series, and they're the ones that are trying to decide this final game as Armeo. He's doing it, starting out with an invade.
Oh boy, and Gomsu goes over and he's like, where are they? They normally go for this?
They have to guess
They
this.
have to know what's going on. We see the pings going on to the other side of the map, but how is Kenvi choose to respond to this? Naturally, most people will look at a potential invade, try and force a vertical jungle. I thought this was going to be a bot-focused game, but if Armeo is going to vertical against Gomsu...
And he's already done the Raptors as he is taking both camps on the top side. We'll see if Armeo is able to go bot and split it.
Watch for bot lane, though, because if Team Liquid are intentionally splitting the map, Jan and Ayla have already done the grunt work of pushing in, getting the early shove. Yes, they trade HP for it, but by guaranteeing lane priority, if Kenvi wants to invade towards the bottom side of the map so he doesn't fall behind, it's going to be so dangerous.
Look at Armeo. Does he go for the cross or not? It's actually just going to be going towards his side of the camp. So
he has time. Nocturne farms incredibly fast versus something like a Kindred in the early game.
Wait a minute. Kenvi just, they careful ping the Raptors on the bot side. I'm not sure if 100 Thieves figure this out. They might think it is a leashless start for Armeo. Kenvi's crossing. He doesn't call it, and he's about to walk into his Raptors, and Red Buff going missing. Things are disastrous for 100 Thieves early.
And Kenvi is now in
this.
total shock, right? He has to go back to the bottom side of the map, but Armeo is clearing it out. His bottom lane has prio. His mid lane can build prio.
Harry is already trading HP for it, right? This is the state where Team Liquid are working as a well-oiled unit. Now Kenvi wants to force something. He knows that there's no camps to farm. I have to force something aggressive. Trade flash for flash. Try to set up Jimmy for success. This is going to be close here, but Harry is watching, and he's making sure that he is not stepping too far forward.
Harry has been cheating bottom side because he expects if he gets ganked, it can be from the top side of the map.
But the discipline from Harry to not go for that, the fact that they know they have yet to spot Kenvi on the camps, that's what prevents the play. We'll lose the crab, but
they're both crossing.
That isn't the first mark. And now, Harry, big health bar advantage as they move towards the second crab, the one that has Kindred's mark.
Gamsu has priority for this, so at least you can force a 3-on-2 against Team Liquid. So this might be the one silver lining for 100 Thieves and Kenvi is if he can claim this mark. But now Bradley is coming over to 5 forward. This is going to be a bloody 3-on-3. Level 4 available. Meanwhile, into the bot lane, it's isolated 2v2. Wixie forced the flash, using heal as well. Alon Yon pressing forward. They push him onto the tower. No kills to be had. Meanwhile, back over to the top side of the map. The crab reset. Charm onto the back line. Gonsu looking for the charge, but he doesn't make the knockup happen. And now Team Liquid pushing back and forth. But Kenvi gets the mark. First blood for 100 Thieves. Can Team Liquid clean it up? Bradley trades back onto Gamsu, but Jimian answers back, and 100 Thieves are the one that pull forward 2-1.
And Kenvi's gonna get 2 marks. He picked one up in the fight, gonna get this bonus one as well. And the flip coming out from Team Liquid, it comes up short. 100 Thieves, they've won games, making the series volatile. The first play that happens at 100 Thieves brute force, they come out on top.
Absolutely crazy opening from the invade from Armeo to the movement around the map. You called it out, the level 4 in mid lane being pivotal. The extra bit of damage comes through, and Kenvi recognizes that as soon as he gets that last hit, it is free real estate. They find Armeo, and the damage is just not there on the other side.
Jimian, a solo kill on the Harry in game 5!
100 Thieves, the route that they've had to scale into this tournament, scale into this series. They're the ones fighting over advantage, and Bradley's about to face check Kenvi.
But Kenvi can run him down. Armeo's here to turn him off. It should stop things for now.
So now the Oceanic bot lane coming through for Jan and Ayla need to be looking incredibly strong. They need to try and find their own advantages.
Now, of course, very excited about the fact that it's game 5. One of the things we usually hit on as casters, we might have fallen short on in this one, scaling. The scaling, it is in 100 Thieves' advantage. You have Kindred, you have Jinx, you have Ornn. There's no way if this game goes late that Team Liquid are going to be able to hang with the comp that 100 Thieves has for themselves. And the fact they have an early lead is massive.
Yeah, it is now more imperative than ever for Team Liquid to find an explosive start, a rebound in the mid game once Armeo comes online with that paranoia.
The one person that we got to look at later on in the game as we do see this level 6 start to come, or getting closer for our junglers, is Harry, right? He can just find these picks, but we've seen them try and pick up Ayla in the rotation before, not going to do it this time.
That's not spotted by Ayla. Lucio able to sneak that control ward in. Talk about the later stages. I mean, I think the other player we have to keep our eyes on, Jimian. 2-0-1, playing the other side of this Ahri. Harry, he was the one that fell just short of taking the Proving Grounds final this time, swapping out Ryoma. 100 Thieves, Jimian have been scaling. Jimian's play has been outstanding in this tournament. He's trying to prove that he can be the top dog, taking down Harry in this one.
This time around, I want to give a shout out once again to Gamsu, our returning champion from last time around. Once again, poised to take game 5. He's got a lot more League of Legends to play, but this is a good start.
Hey, it doesn't matter what game he's playing. Tank v tank, that feels like Gamsu's comfort zone.
100 Thieves now are going to push on forward. The first dragon to the name. This is going to set up a potential timer once again. Team Liquid, not level 6 on the Nocturne, so they cannot force a fight with this paranoia.
Separated.
They aren't going for it, though. They don't have Cryo mid. Harry, he's behind Jimian. He got the early kills. He's ahead in levels, ahead in items. That's something that Team Liquid's having a lot of trouble with.
The Lamb's Respite is also completed. We can start looking for Kenvi to be a lot more aggressive, just like he was in the last game. And as his team builds up so much vision control on the bottom side of the map, look, Oh, they're not going to go down in force, but Kenvi
Hang
has
on.
control. He can go into the jungle.
And remember that control word from Busio earlier. It is now setting up for a clean invade from
Oh,
Kenvi. They have the
no,
perfect
man.
wraparound. Busio making the engage happen, slowing down Ayla. There's still flash available from Yon, but I imagine that Ayla will be the target here. Lamb's Respite is still available. Kenvi might be forced to use it early. Yon making sure to force the ultimate out of Kenvi. Can they get the damage? Not quite yet. Yon and Ayla holding on in a 2v3 and defending Jimian.
Oh,
To the
no.
mid lane, not another solo kill, I imagine. But Team Liquid holding on.
Up top lane, though, Armeo has the ultimate. They're getting a dive ready. It's half health Orin.
Paranoia coming in right onto Gomsu before he can get the call of the Forge God out. The
They got
knockup
him.
is able to trade 1-for-1 onto Bradley.
Great player coming out from Gomsu to find the one goal. Jimmy has enough dashes.
Charm, Harry dodging it out, and one more Spirit Rush forward. It's not enough. Jimmy and another solo kill.
The import from PCS, he was the runner-up in MVP voting behind Doggo. He struggled early, had to adapt to NA, but he has been a massive part of 100 Thieves scaling into this tournament, and he comes up big mid.
And the thing is, even yesterday, even earlier this week, I was looking at him as this great pressure player. He forces you to make mistakes, and he outplays you then.
It's been a tough start for Team Liquid, but the one thing they've been so good at throughout the season, we talked about it this series, Rift Herald, taking turrets early, snowballing the map from there. That kill top, yes, it was traded out, but Armeo, he's on the map first. He's trying to take the Rift Herald, and Kenvi might have something to say about it, but Ayla is showing, and I don't think he can contest.
Yeah, Kenvi's got to be careful. There's no Lamb's Respite. You
Jimmy's
need
not
more
here either.
reinforcements
Yeah,
here.
he's just trying to
Thompson,
stall
no
it.
call of the Forge God either.
He wants to stall it.
Not level 6. Team Liquid, they have stronger forces. This is a Rift Herald secured for Team Liquid.
And that's a really good call by 100 Thieves. They even forced Yon to show as well. This means that Wixie will get free time, likely take a plate or two on the bot side. We'll see how much Team Liquid get in return top, as they've already taken away 2.5 turrets. And with Rift Herald, this will be first brick going over to TL.
That's a lot of money going over to Jan. He's been one of the players that has been pivotal to Team Liquid, almost winning game 2 and 4, bringing it back and looking for these opportunities. If you can get this guy fed enough, he can potentially take this game back. It's only a 1,000 gold lead.
They don't break first sure quite yet. I mean, 100 Thieves, how much do they want to dedicate to maintaining this over Team Liquid? Jimmy is also ready to rotate.
He's first. He's spotted.
He's going to clear out that control ward as Team Liquid. They can't commit to take that first brick. They're going to have to drop it.
A huge trade, right? Wixie is only able to get one plate in response on the bottom side because Bradley responded over to it. But the fact that first brick hasn't broken up, that still gives a lot of defense for 100 Thieves to play around.
And it's still solo gold and XP going over to the Jinx. I'm going to prefer that every single time, as we've seen what Wixie can do on the Jinx.
Oh, Harry.
Big game on it in this series. Now, Harry.
Good reaction.
Portioning out. He's saved.
Yeah, that's a good reaction coming through from Harry. The top lane will go down here to Jan, and that's going to be a lot of gold going over to Jan solo. He's going for the Trinity Force build once again, so he has a mid-game spike to try and contest 100 Thieves.
Much needed for Team Liquid.
Yeah, we're about a minute and 20 seconds away from Dragon. Once again, I want to come back to when 100 Thieves had put Team Liquid on the clock in Game 4. It was them that secured the first 2 Dragons, and with the position that they are in, it's not that big of a gold lead, but you can tell that 100 Thieves feel way more confident about taking a fight.
And I really like how Wixie's basing here. We talked about all the solo gold and XP that Wixie got by staying alone bot, by not rotating. He needs to base in order to utilize that. But it's still, because the first brick fell over to Jan, Rafa, that's the completed Trinity Force. So if Team Liquid want to push around this dragon, he's going to be the one, Jan, that has to step up big, taking down his old Aura, because he is the only one that has a mythic item so far.
Wait for Jimmy, and though he's about to recall, he has a teleport, so he can stay on the map a little bit longer.
I think it's important to note, Kenvi just took that crab. Massive shout out to our observers, by the way, who've been doing awesome throughout the entire season and today. That's the 4th mark for Kindred, so that bonus range, Kenvi now has access to it for the rest of the game.
And it's actually important at this stage, too, because when you're looking at the threats that you have to dance and dodge around, it is a melee champion in the Nocturne trying to dive onto you. It is Jan who is trying to distance himself when he revs up on the Burst Fire as well.
Okay, as Team Liquid now have a lot of members that are moving in, it's important to note that they are going to get pushed out. They don't have the crab. They don't have a way to move. I expect
Jimmy
John
just
have
TP'd.
to leave.
Yeah, Jimmy and TP'd, he got Everfrost. That's huge for the Ahri. And I think that's enough for Team Liquid to drop this dragon. Really good macro play coming out from 100 Thieves.
Armeo's nowhere near it either, so there's no way that they can fight over it, even in the aftermath of the dragon. 2 dragons now secure for 100 Thieves. This puts them, unfortunately for them, it's only a Cloud Soul, so it's not the biggest game-changing endpoint, but it's still a timer to play for.
They're pinging out. They don't know where Jimian is. They're not sure if he can move down. He's just waiting in this fog of war.
It's a huge pick.
Everfrost.
Jimian, can he get the rest of the damage down on Harry? But he's the one that gets out alive.
He's gonna still sit there, threaten the fact that he has that last ult charge, but will have a crash. Busio can be rotating over. Might be looking to take this mid-outer turret before 14 minutes. That's how hard Jimian's been winning this matchup after he was gifted the early kill.
Paranoia right onto Jimian, but he's got Busio in his back pocket here, looking for Harry, forcing the flash out of it, charming up Armeo. Ayla in the reinforcements as well. Handshake! Whoa, that pulls him right into Team Liquid, and here comes Bradley. Unstoppable onslaught, trying to lock down Jimian. Yon is there, flashing forward, looking for the kill as well, but he goes too far. It gets traded out. Hostile takeover is enough to end the fight.
You cannot count Team Liquid out. They've been winning games super decisively, but even in their losses, they are competitive. They're less than 1,000 gold behind.
And huge shout out goes to Harry. He's been having a tough start to this game, but him flashing out of Busio's combo was the reason they were able to turn that play back in their favor.
So now as we start looking at this replay once again, we can see exactly that. Team Liquid, they find some windows, and Harry, he's able to get away. He doesn't go down to Kenvi, and the credit to Ayla, right? His handshakes have been so good throughout this series. He finds the crowd control, preventing Kenvi from using his ultimate.
Just not able to get out that Lambs fight. That was massive. I mean, either way, Team Liquid were going to have the numbers advantage. They had push, they had the rotate. But still, again, much needed for Team Liquid. They need to continue to find ways back earlier in the game before they get outscaled.
And we said earlier, Yon, this player coming through, he was been here last time. He was in all of the best of fives. He was a big tool for them to come back.
And, I mean, that's TL's greatest strength. Their bot
Yes.
lane. Yon, Ayla, I think they are one of the best bot lanes, if not the best bot lane we have in Academy. They've gotten Team Liquid to this point. We'll see if they can push them over the edge in this game.
And he got the shutdown onto Jimian, right? We said that he's gonna have this mid-game wake up. He's got the Trinity Force. He's halfway done with his upcoming Hydra. He can rip people apart. He's got enough damage this time with Ayla in his back pocket to rip through the front line of Gamsu. So it's gonna be on Kenvi to try and shut him down.
Armeo has Paranoia. Jimian's a tough target for him to take down, given all the ults you have, so safe in the side lane as the Ahri. And honestly, that's another thing I really like about 100 Thieves draft. It's really tough to attack the Ornn and the Ahri as a Nocturne in these sides.
Yeah, I mean, you just don't have the damage coming up from Bradley, right? You have to grind him down over a long period of time. Now, if you bring the LeBlanc, if you bring the Zeri, suddenly becomes possible, but that's not what they've been doing so far this series.
And that's the thing, right? When you're playing around the LeBlanc, you need the LeBlanc to be strong on a side lane so that if it ever gets threatened, you not only have the mobility to dodge out on unwinnable fights, but you have the paranoia to hover around and make that 2v1 turnaround.
Good news for Team Liquid. Another good setup around this Rift Herald. We'll see if they can utilize this to take more control over the map. But still, I think the real prize is this Dragon. 100 Thieves putting the prio down there, stacking the first two up. 90 seconds away from the Cloud Dragon spawning.
And while we have some time to set up some, just framing once again, look back at the journeys that both of these teams have had taken to get here, right? 100 Thieves were trying to turn around
Bradley.
the fight, hold up. Bradley, using the Unstoppable Onslaught, prevents the Call of the Forge God from happening. Kenvi does a lot of damage, knock up under the tower, flashing away from Busio. Busio can't get in range to charm him with the quickness. Team Liquid thwarted.
And that's huge. That's 3 ultimates burned by 100 Thieves Academy 1 minute before the Dragon. They will not have those back up. This will give a big window for Team Liquid to try and punish.
And that is all on Bradley, right? He is the one that defends himself, takes care of himself in that 1v4 advantage. So many times in the past, Bradley would have died solo, but he is able to thwart it.
And so now as we start looking at the setup for this upcoming Dragon, remember the Rift Herald is going to be crashing bottom. More gold going to be going over to Yon. They're here first. They can get the vision. And Armeo is so good at playing this Nocturne. He is so good at denying information from 100 Thieves. Watch how he positions during this. Watch when he uses the Paranoia to prevent 100 Thieves from grouping up.
But Jimian, he's the one that's ahead. He's the one that is fed. He has the Everfrost as Ayla. All right.
A little bit of damage.
Not going to pull the trigger on the Ahri, but Jimian.
Jimian might be forced to use the Spirit Rush here. Gets a little too close to Armeo. Busio linking up with the Battle Dance, looking for another re-engage.
And again, that is huge from Armeo. He sees a charm. He knows that he can walk up, use the Stride Breaker, forces the ult. That's another tool down for the Thieves. I don't think they should fight this, but the Thieves are thinking differently.
They don't have control. Yeah, they're giving up. Okay,
Yeah,
they're
that's
making
the
a
right
good
call.
decision, right?
Right call.
We looked at it earlier. You can just give this up. You do not want to give 100 Thieves these potentially game-ending fights, and seeing them give this over makes a lot of sense.
And I like this moment from the Thieves. Again, a young team, especially that bot side, recognizing, hey, we scale. We got the first 2 dragons. We're still in a good spot to win the game, but we have no tools to take this fight. Let's live the fight another day.
And it's the mid-game decision-making from Team Liquid that
So
is
good.
keeping them in this Game 5 so far, because when that river skirmish happened on the top side of the map, immediate thoughts to, oh my god, 100 Thieves have the momentum in the bag. But Team Liquid maintaining that composure. You have to remember that while 100 Thieves, their strength this entire tournament while scaling up has been rising to the occasion and defying the odds, it is still Team Liquid the final boss at the end of the road, where they have shown to be the ones with the best composure, with the best team and decision making.
And these bosses have phases, right? We've seen the early game. You know, games 1 and 3 were so dominant, but we'll see if they can get through this last phase as Kenby hops the wall.
Bradley this time doesn't have flash. 100 Thieves making the return
Going
game,
the wrong
but it's
way.
the unstoppable onslaught.
Yes,
He's-
TP.
He is unstoppable for a reason. Can he make it all the way to the base
It's
and
the
then use
wave.
the teleport to get
Okay.
out safely? Now Bradley's holding on to it. He knows that Busio's lingering around, but Bradley looks like he just might be able to make the slow
I
walk
think
out of
he's
here.
dead now. He's stayed too long.
Kraken Slayer, yeah. Kenby's gonna melt him.
What can Team Liquid do on the outside? Whoa, that's a big pop-up from 100 Thieves. Wixie being able to take out Ayla, and Yon was trying to go
Jimmy.
forward, but the Gale Force from Wixie with a beautiful reposition forces Yon to use the flash to get away.
And honestly, that paranoia from Armeo was clutch. It saved Yon. The fact that Jimmy couldn't see him, didn't have the confidence to go over the wall. Yes, Bradley drops in the base. He ate as many waves as he could, but it's still 100 Thieves bouncing back, answering the calls of Team Liquid, and finding plays in this mid-game so important to get them to the later stages of this game.
Yeah, let's go back to that scaling copy. We do have a small gold lead coming through for Team Liquid. They picked up a dragon, slowing down that clock, but the clock of Ornn is still there. The clock of Jinx is still online. The best answers so far have been Yon, but Harry can also look for these assassinations.
Oh, Harry is pushing forward though, right? And Kenby is able to get it out alive. Teleport is coming in. Oh, Team Liquid wants it.
there.
Armeo, there's no
He's not
paranoia,
here.
but
The
Yon has the
flank.
flank angle. Can they get onto Kenby and Busio? But there's no way for them to lock him down.
Good escape.
Yo.
Good escape from 100
Okay.
Thieves. They are
He's chilling.
under no threat. Like, Team Liquid commit a lot for that, and that means the teleport's not up for the upcoming dragon.
And the punish for that, Jimmy didn't burn the TP. He's gonna be able to deny this wave, probably take down that top outer turret, and that's more gold going over to the Thieves as Kamsu. Oh, he sneaks out that Gromp.
And that reeks of desperation from Team Liquid. They are desperately trying to get this mid-game snowball rolling, because even though they are tied in gold, the momentum is still not in their favor strongly. And if you don't make those paranoias explode off the map, 100 Thieves are going to scale.
And to be fair to TL, they are starting to be in a more and more dire situation as this game goes late. We need to see Team Liquid try and make these paranoias work, try and deny that vision so Harry can come over the top on the block and try and shut down Wixie in the backline. So I think it is a force from Team Liquid, but also a good recognition from them that they need to force the issue now before they get outscaled.
We have to praise 100 Thieves for even just being in this position, right? We expected Team Liquid to be that final boss. We were looking at how many series 100 Thieves had to play. They played twice as many games and won all of them.
I know from talking with 100 Thieves, their GM, Papa Smithy, you know, he's like, at the end of the split, we have to give a speech. He's like, I've had that speech prep since like round 1, and then I saw us play in round 2, I'm like, I can hold on to this for a little bit longer. And as we kept on playing that speech, he's yet to bring it out. And hey, that speech is going to look drastically different now. May not even need to give it, given how well 100 Thieves Academy played in this tournament. Are one game away from being the worst team that we had in the second round robin of Academy to being defending Proving Grounds champion.
I mean, you say he might not need to give the speech. I just think the speech is going to be completely different in tone.
Yeah, little bit.
Yeah, just let's go, boys, right? Just seeing them come through. And I hope the players are having fun, right? Especially our rookies, who is this is their first time playing on stage. They're the ones who really are excited.
Now, game's not finished yet. And 100 Thieves, these dragons, the dragon stacking, that is what has made them so good throughout their lower bracket run. Credit to Team Liquid. They have control over this bot side river early, much needed against the Thieves comp. We'll see if they can get mid priority and change the pace there.
Harry
Ooh,
looking
good
for some
chunk.
early poke. Nice chunk on the Kenby, as you said. Half HP
deal
off the jungler.
20 seconds left, and Ornn has a lot of control, but so does Bradley and Armeo. Jimian has lost the Banshees.
Now Bradley was looking for the flank, but now they're dipping back into the river. Bradley can't get a clean shot with that unstoppable onslaught. Armeo, watch for him to start things off. Once the general calls for the fight, the lights will be turned off, and he will come sailing forward onto the backline.
And again, I don't think 100 Thieves have to fight this. I think that they are okay with scaling. Team Liquid have such great control early.
Oh,
they don't have the force.
Ah, they want to look for it, and now the counter engage might be available. Look at Busio. He's already popped the quickness, ready to defend his backline. So he turns his attention towards Jimian instead. But Team Liquid don't fight the engagement. Now they're on this choke point. This barn horn is going to be so massive. But the wholesale takeover from Yon and Ayla. The best bot lane in Academy. Turn the fight around.
Busio goes down, trying to protect Wixie. It is disaster for the Thieves as that ult from Ayla, the best player we have in Academy. He steps up at the right time. He turns everything on its head as 100 Thieves turn against each other, and Team Liquid can now take down the Baron.
This is one of the best fights I've seen this entire series, right? Separating Jimian from the rest with the Fog of War, but Busio just throws himself blind over the wall to put a halt to Team Liquid. But then it's Ayla. It's his turn to have a pop-off moment. The ultimate
Ayla.
catches everyone on both sides of the wall.
What an ultimate Team Liquid. They had to make their mark in this mid-game, and thanks to their all-star support, they were able to turn this game on its head, turn the pace of this series on its head, and give themselves a leg to stand on in this mid-game.
And now the Baron buff power play coming through. Now they are going to be giving up the Dragon, which is good for 100 Thieves, but this Baron power play is where Team Liquid makes or breaks their games. Their tempo play is second to none in the entire league.
Especially given, I mean, that Baron, this was the move for Team Liquid. They had to take the big purple worm. They have to force the issue now. But that did give Soul Point over to the Thieves. So again, Team Liquid now are forced to fight at Dragons. They did give up Cloud Soul in the last game. That's a tough ask for any team to give up another soul to the enemy. And we will see how much Team Liquid can get off of this Baron power play.
Yon, though, 3-1-1. He got the double kill, rewarded by Ayla's good play. He now has a 2,000 gold lead over Wixie, and we keep going back to these bottom lanes from both sides. The relatively veteran Yon, the rookie Wixie, both of them having fantastic points throughout this series, but Yon is the one who consistently is the player on Team Liquid who finds their way back into these games. His positioning on Zeri is so good, and we see why he's got to play this time.
And he's been pushing his limits this entire game, willing to throw himself onto the front line because he has confidence in Ayla. He has confidence in the rest of his team to back him up so he can rip through 100 Thieves without fear.
I think something else that we have to talk about, the amount of armor and the tankiness on Team Liquid. Bradley on this Scion. He has Frozen Heart, Bramble Vest, and that Aegis. It's going to be a third item LDR for Wixie. I think Team Liquid have to force the issue before that item. I think that once that item's completed, things get a lot more dire for them on the blue side.
But they're trying to push in multiple lanes, right? Nocturne doesn't have to be here.
Getting
He
a lot
has the
off
paranoia. Busio.
Harry looking for a pick onto Busio, just gets the Blast Cone out as Busio trying to replicate something that we saw in Golden Guardian series against them, looking for the long flank onto the back line, but Team Liquid are still making their push undeterred.
And Team Liquid, I think they're very happy with what happened with that Baron. Now a 4K gold lead. This is the lead you need at this point of the game with this composition when you're going into 100 Thieves, and it's all off the back of Ayla.
Ayla has been so good, man. I am so excited to see how this player continues to evolve. We saw him in the LCS. He's had a great run through Academy, and I feel like what Smack said, one of our other co-casters in the scene, says the only reason why Ayla hasn't been in LCS yet is because he's been on the same team as Core JJ. We got to see what happens when Core JJ is not there, and Ayla steps up. This guy is somebody that everybody should be scouting for their rosters next year.
Yeah, even next split. If
Yeah,
there's
next
any
split, next week.
Next week. If there's any teams that want to make changes to the bottom lane and they want a new support, Ayla's the best choice, hands down, to pick up.
I think we keep talking. Coach Spawn's gonna come yell at us up here on stage.
But hey, don't take my player!
But hey, another thing taken by Team Liquid Academy. All the inner turrets now down. The Thieves are stuck in their base. And we did tease that Cloud Soul is still on the table for them, but look at the map control that Team Liquid have been able to create for themselves off that Baron. 100 Thieves are really struggling to get control over their own jungle. Yes, we do have 2 minutes until the Cloud Soul spawns, but if they're stuck in their base, I still think this is a timer where Team Liquid have the advantage.
And Team Liquid are going to continue doing that, right? We talked about face checkers in previous games. This time, it's going to be Gamsu's the one that you need to be there in order to get these things started. He's the person on 100 Thieves that when they group him up, they have a lot of success in these 5v5s. But that means that it's going to be difficult for him to split. Even though Sion isn't the greatest turret taker, he's not the greatest splitter in the world, he's somebody who's going to be able to teleport in because he has the Nocturne on his team. He can teleport through Paranoia.
The Baron buff has diminished. It is no longer available for Team Liquid, but they are remaining poised to now push 100 Thieves out of this bottom side of the map. The vision control in favor for them to lock out 100 Thieves for being able to enter in and claim this Cloud Soul.
Ooh, what is that rocket trying to stop Harry's back? Okay.
He does have TP.
Yeah.
Needs it.
It's a short cooldown, so Wixie will have it for any upcoming objective, but it does buy a little bit more time for Jimmy to push before Harry can respond.
Fixing those side waves. We'll see if Jimmy can regroup and help 100 Thieves obtain control over their blue side jungle as it is still lit up like a Christmas tree in favor of Team Liquid.
And I want to ask you guys, if Team Liquid, if they bait 100 Thieves into a fight, is the death timers long enough? Is the base in shambles enough that they can just take the game in one fight?
If they keep their marksman alive and it's like a 3-for-0, 4-for-0, absolutely. And I think that tells me 100 Thieves, again, they don't have to play for this dragon. They can wait. They can bleed this objective. It's still okay for them. Team Liquid do not gain a ton off this.
As we see Team Liquid looking for more opportunities to create pressure, the Dragon is spawning. Armeo is going to be able to do it, and the rest of his team doesn't need to necessarily instantly come back to help him, right? Not only see the jungler, but he's a Nocturne. He can go support them, and another Dragon that gets picked up for Team Liquid. Game going to continue extending as 6K is the lead. We got to turn our attention to top side.
Jimmy waiting to see if Harry extends past that lane. Not the case at the moment. And again, 400 Thieves. We talked about the scaling. What are they waiting for? Jinx, LDR, that's a big one. Also, Death Cap now completed on Jimmy. We see LDR for Jinx just finished in the inventory. After that, maybe can be Black Cleaver, as I think that's the next item for the Kindred. I think that could be like the last big spike they're waiting for to try and find these fights. But until then, we'll just see if Team Liquid can continue to stay ahead of the curve, as it is still Yawn with all the gold on his shoulders, as he has just completed his 4th item to the 3 of Wixie, a Hurricane now in his inventory.
We know how much splash damage Yawn is going to be able to do during these fights, right? You're going to be able to hit Lucio, you're going to be able to hit Gamsu, it'll splash back to everyone, and we cannot praise this guy's Zeri enough. And oh my god, Harry!
Oh, Harry burns the heal off of Wixie, but maintains the flash cooldown. Wixie will still be able to have that, burn the Gale Force, but by the next fight, he should still have those 2 tools to reposition.
When you got 3 items on this LeBlanc without the tools to necessarily keep Wixie alive, he's a huge threat, and they have vision control.
They snuck the wards in again, so if they start Baron, it should be spotted by the Thieves.
100 Thieves.
Armeo.
Remaining calm, making sure to not just blindly check the Baron before. Team Liquid looking for that bait. They want to pull Wixie in to see if they can at least burn the flash again while the Gale Force is off cooldown.
Yeah, when you hit 3 items as LeBlanc, you kind of don't care if you are super far behind. You're still going to be blowing squishies.
And look at the poke from Harry, someone that, again, his coach thought that he was the MVP of their team. As much as we hype up Ayla, Harry's been that good as well. And even with him being behind early, he was the one that made the initial play to get themselves back in the game. And he has been massive in the later stages. Now has that level 16 on the Blanc, as you're pointing out, Joshi. That poke's making it really difficult for 100 Thieves to get into the Baron Pit, and Team Liquid, it's gotten to the point where they're confident enough to start it.
And they can't give this up. 100 Thieves do need to contest this. You can give up a Dragon, but you can't give up the Baron.
Kenvi can get in line. The vision control has been regained by 100 Thieves. Team Liquid, I don't know if you want to flip this though, because you have Lamb's Respite. You can look for a Baron steal. They're just going to turn the fight here. Harry looking to chunk out Jimian. Call of the Forge God already used by Gamsu. That's one engaged tool, and then look at that. The recall's coming on. 100 Thieves, they can't contest the Baron. It's already down at 3,000 HP. Armeo popping the Paranoia. They can secure the Baron now. They just want to make sure they can walk out. They don't need to fight the fight anymore.
Wow, good play coming from Team Liquid. They keep Harry on the side. They don't let 100 Thieves in, and the paranoia to seal the deal.
And we talked earlier, the games that Team Liquid have won have been so controlled. The ones that 100 Thieves have won have been so volatile. The start of this game was volatile, but Team Liquid have done such a good job at slowing things down. We'll see if 100 Thieves can find a pick. They did get control over the bot side jungle, but Team Liquid mature enough to not base check it. No kills for Jimmy and 100 Thieves late on the reset, and it is another Baron power play for TL.
And the wave clear coming out from 100 Thieves is not particularly strong, right? Jimmy with the true damage punches through the resist, but it doesn't do a whole lot up against these things that are just so tanky. Wixie, he's there before they can actually get to the turret, before Team Liquid can start impacting the structures.
Look at this flank. Look at this flank them from Busio and
another
Jimmy.
monster.
It's another flank monster that they're trying to... This is the Hail
He's
Mary that they would
spotted.
have to pull it out, but he's spotted, so Harry's going to deter it from even happening. Team Liquid, once again, showing the maturity, showing the resolve to not be baited in by that flank.
Yeah, Team Liquid don't want to fight just quite yet. They gotta wait for the paranoia. It's probably 20 more seconds left, and then Team Liquid can start to look to do something. Objective bounties. 400 Thieves.
It's gone back and forth. TL had them earlier in the game. It's now 100 Thieves summing up this series. Each team going game for game, blow for blow. But it's TL looking to strike the first inhibitor turret in our game 5, as this one's falling on this wave.
Call the Forge God is being summoned here, but the knockup goes wide. No one gets deterred on the side of Team Liquid Academy, and 100 Thieves
Harry
losing out on
shows.
one of their primary engage tools.
It's
now
gone.
has to figure out if they can defend this inhibitor. They take out the cannon minion,
gone.
but Team Liquid are able to still rotate all their forces in. Inhibitor is down.
Now they're going to be regrouping, right? Team Liquid can move back over to the mid lane. They've gotten one inhibitor. There's a dragon to play for in 30 seconds, and they have 2 more waves as Team Liquid to potentially play with this Baron.
And think about how we started off game 5. Team Liquid getting on the stage. You can see Harry, see
like a
Ayla,
slaughtering.
eyes closed, taking deep breaths. It feels like that is exactly the situation they have created for themselves on Summoner's Rift. They're looking to take their second inhibitor this time around in the mid lane.
Baron's still available for the next 33 seconds here. How much damage can they get onto the base of 100 Thieves Academy? Another dragon is still a compensation prize for Team Liquid, as Armail already on it.
As he picks this up, you see the rest of the team starting to go towards the bottom lane. They still have pressure. There's still half this wave. They have 2 cannons. They might be able to get 2 inhibitors.
Bounce to his ult.
Harry is in the mid lane as well, but 100 Thieves just don't feel confident enough to force the fight.
He's got it.
If they lose the fight still while all these minions are stacked up, it could be so much damage. They're just trying to diminish the amount of sacrifices they have to give.
Maybe it's Infinity Edge for Wixie, but at this point, can't even get to that point of the game as Yawn, level 17.
Call the Forge God looks for Bradley and Yawn and Ayla, but it's
Yawn.
Armail with the paranoia.
Oh,
Busio trying to look
Ayla.
for it, and now it is Ayla that forces it back, and 100 Thieves have to retreat.
The cancel from Ayla was so good on Busio's grand entrance. It was denied. Is now Jimmy in.
Jimmy trying to spirit rush onto Harry, looking for the flank, but Harry dances back and forth.
Oh.
Yawn almost getting taken out. Is blinking HP. Kempi trying to blow for it. A hostile takeover forces 100 Thieves back. Lamb's respawn is down. 100 Thieves and Yawn is still alive to carry through this fight. And there it is. Team Liquid. Just 3 minutes to go. Team Liquid. A road to redemption paved in retribution to reclaim what was taken last summer. Team Liquid are your proving ground champions.
Team Liquid, they lost the last 2 best-of-5s these teams played again, but they are not going to lose another. They take it down. You see how much it means to them.
Look at Harry. He knows what it feels like to drop a game 5. He was behind early, but he was the one that came back, stayed strong mentally, made the plays that his team needed to get them back in the game.
Look at the emotion, man. You can see how much it means to Harry. He knows that in the past 3 best-of-5s, he always came short, and it was against his rival Ryoma from the Oceanic region. While he was able to at least upset him in the winners finals, it was still the Proving Grounds title that had evaded him for so long. Team Liquid Academy, through thick and thin, through all the odds, a 5-game series against 100 Thieves Academy, take the throne.
Congratulations to Team Liquid. Congratulations to this long road that they had. The final boss stands tall, and it feels as though this is a team that a lot of people are going to have to be looking at. But I don't want to undersell 100 Thieves at the same time. 100 Thieves, they won 5 straight series to get here through the lower bracket.
The road they had going from the worst team that we had in the second round robin of Academy to pushing the tournament favorites to 5 games in a back and forth manner. This team can end this foot proud, and while they aren't holding the trophies high this time around, it's been a hell of a run for them.
And Team Liquid are the ones that get to reign supreme. The journey was so difficult. If you go back to the beginning of the Academy split, where this team had still not been formed yet. Harry was waiting on visas. Ayla had to step in for Core JJ in the LCS squad. It took a few weeks for the team to actually come together, and they had a late start in being able to reach the form that we had expected for this team at the beginning of the year, but they finally got there.
I want to give a lot of praise over to, we've talked about Armeo, we've talked about Ayla, excuse me, we talked about Jan, but I want to talk about Armeo because this is one of the big boogeymen that he's had to play up against. Every time we look at Academy junglers, it has always been Kenvi that we're focusing on. The star player for 100 Thieves Academy, looking for all these big opportunities, carrying his team over and over. But Armeo shuts him down.
What a series, man. How did this one go to 5? Like, the manner it did, too. We had...
You could not have written it better.
In 18-2, game 1, 100 Thieves won a banger. Game 3 is a near-perfect game from Team Liquid. 100 Thieves won a banger. And then game 5, back and forth. Objective bounties were up for both teams in that 5th game. The brink of elimination, the late game scaling comp 100 Thieves, they could not come out online. Team Liquid, they hold strong.
And I have to look back at that mid lane fight where they went for the engage. The paranoia came out. Busio, a great defensive instinct to immediately charm to stop any engages. They look for the re-engage off the Gomsu Ornn. But it's Ayla's hostile takeover that just ripped and turned the Thieves on each other.
The fight that I know you were talking about yesterday, the 100 Thieves were able to pull off. They zone off Violet with the Gomsu ultimate. That was one of our best team fights, but I feel like that one kind of takes the cake for me, right?
It was in the finals. It was cool.
It was cool, but the fact that we saw both teams insane plays from both supports back to back in order to keep the game in the balance is really what sells it.
Hey, all I'm saying is that I think the pros have a lot to live up to when it comes to this best of 5. We got these 2 orgs going toe-to-toe tomorrow in this studio in the LCS. I don't know if you can top this one.
I think LCS support should be looking at how Ayla plays Renata Glass. That is some of the most insane use of this champion so far. I mean, we saw it was a slow roll for most Academy supports, even on the LCS stage. People haven't really been able to grasp this champion. If you want a 101 on Renata Glass, look at Ayla in this series.
Yeah, wild. Ayla, not only just the Renata, but also the Bard. Like, how big that was in the first... it feels like ages ago in the early game. But Ayla, again, we cannot hype up this player enough. Someone that we feel like should be ready to go to the next stage. He was massive in this series for Team Liquid Academy, and he helped his team overcome what has really been their Achilles heel. Thinking historically, you called it out early. What was it, 15-11? Team Liquid had the winning record, but 100 Thieves, they were the ones who raised the trophy at the end of last year. This time around, Team Liquid, retribution.
So I want to start looking forward. I want to start looking forward at what's next for these guys, right? Because it's spring. There's a lot of opportunities. We aren't necessarily going to be seeing a whole lot of roster moves. This is looking like some more dominance that is likely to be coming from these guys in summer. They have been so strong across the board. They were looking so good in the second round robin, 66% win rate after bringing everybody back. I believe they dropped 2 games since Ayla had returned. This is a fantastic showing from them, and we can expect more.
For Team Liquid Academy as well, I want to just really cement how hard it was to be able to come back from last summer where it was 3 best of 5s and just always falling short to 100 Thieves. They have overcome their demons. They have redeemed themselves. The road has been rewarded. And to now get a closer look on what the post-game emotions are feeling like, we do have Kangas on the stage for our Verizon post-series interview.
Everybody, We are here on stage with Matt Nasha, head of Academy, Amateur, and Collegiate, to present the Proving Ground Championship Awards to the winners of Proving Ground Spring 2022. Starting off in the top lane, Bradley. In the jungle, Armeo. Mid lane, Harry. And AD carry, Jan. And in the support position, Ayla. Thank you, Matt. And thank you to all the players. What a journey it's been for everybody on this stage. The blood, sweat, and tears that went into this entire season for all of you to make it to this stage, playing in this best of 5. 402 games were played across Academy, Proving Grounds, qualifiers, and Proving Grounds. So let's go down the line. I want to start with the rookie, Bradley, after the role swap from mid lane. Talk to me about your journey. Did you expect to be Proving Grounds champions after your first split lane swapping?
Honestly, I don't think it's safe to say that anyone would think that they would be a Proving Grounds champion, and I'm gonna be honest here as well. I went into it thinking this was going to be really easy, but it's actually so hard. I had no idea. I thought, same champ pool, that's gonna be easy, right? No, it's the amount of times I inted before this is like insane, right? So, I just want to say, like, I'm grateful that the team that I have, because I think with like any other team, like if I role swapped, I would not have this much success. So, you know, congrats to my boys. Woo!
And next up in the jungle, Armeo. I gotta ask, you didn't have the opportunity to play in Proving Grounds finals in the summer because you were boot camping over in EU. What was it like to actually have the chance to go for the Proving Grounds championship and take it with your team?
I mean, it was really nice. Yeah, I inted so hard in game 5, so I was like, it's lost. No, I didn't think that, but it was looking rough out there. And I was like, please, hopefully these guys can carry me. And somehow LeBlanc was useful after that start. He just smurfed it. And obviously, like, bot lane was smurfing. Like, there's no doubt about it. So it feels good to get carried in that game 5. So it just feels great.
Now, Harry, up next here. The blind picks, the incredible performance. Talk to me what it was like, because you were in that finals in summer last year when you got reverse swept, but now you have justice, revenge against 100 Thieves Academy. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, first of all, it feels really good, you know, getting revenge. We lost to them last time around. I think the mid-meta was it's pretty much like facilitators, like for mid lane right now. So I was just playing a lot of, like, you know, Ryze, LeBlanc, you know, Ari, all that stuff. And I've practiced it a lot recently, so I was pretty confident today. But also game 5, I was not in there. But thankfully, my teammates were really good last game, and I think shout out to Ayla. He was really keeping me in like check, like in terms of comms. So yeah, I mean, shout out to the boys. They played really well.
Talk to me about the hair real quick. Was the blue hair your idea?
Actually, I think it was Jan's idea. Idea. Okay, it was Bill's idea, and then me and Jan copied Bill, and then Bill didn't want to be blue, so, you know, he just dogged us and Jan was great.
The old switcheroo, I like it.
Yeah.
All right, now, Jan, in your sophomore year, you were on the 100 Thieves Next program, but then get signed to Team Liquid, and you were perennially in that top 2 all of last year. Now, #1 in Proving Grounds Spring. What's the journey been like for you?
Well, the journey definitely has not been easy, I will say. Even though some people may think it's easy, but it's a lot of working hard and trying to make sure you do well to compete. But I'm really happy with the way we were playing. And I think we've proven that we are the best team in Academy as well, with this as well. And just very happy overall.
Think you've proven you're the best bot lane? Maybe. Ayla. The name in everybody's mind when they're thinking about talent in Academy. Everybody's asking, when is Ayla in LCS, man? That's the question on the minds. What's next for you in your career?
Yeah, honestly, my goal, one of my goals this year was just to become like a leader of the team and really put myself out there. And after playing LCS, having all that experience, I came back to Academy. I really wanted to prove and like basically dominate everyone. I was very outspoken on it in like a lot of interviews and all that. I just wanted to shit on everybody and win. And yeah, I think ever since I've come back, we did have a rough start, but like big props to my team. I think everyone worked really hard to improve. So yeah, I'm really happy that we won. And what's next for me? Honestly, I don't know. I'm aiming for LCS. I think I'm ready, but until then, I'll just keep shitting on everyone in Academy.
Spawn, I do want to hear from the coach here. First off, are you nervous that you're going to lose any of your players after this performance?
Not nervous, right? Hopeful in a way. Because when you look at the history that this team has had, and obviously we brought in Bradley this year, but last year we came equal first or second on head-to-head during regular season split one. Won Northern Arena, which was split one playoff. Obviously, I had a terrible proving grounds, which we owned, I think, as a group. Then we come back in split two. We win split two playoffs again, come first. And then with 2 subs, able to take it to a proving ground second place. And then this year, despite the fact that we had, brand new top laner, Harry got COVID at the start of the split, wasn't able to make it for any of the preseason. Ayla obviously playing LCS, and we have Rhino in, shout out to him. And to be able to hold it together, start kind of like 7 weeks behind most of the other teams, and then pull off another win, to me, at least, shows that these guys are really ready to play at the next level. Like, I don't think you can be consistently at the top of the standings and not get one of those looks. And, obviously credit to CLG last year who picked up Jenkins in the offseason, but I'm really, really hopeful now that people would start taking a good hard look at some of these players because they definitely can go toe-to-toe with some of the best players, honestly, in LCS.
From last to first in the calendar year. That's impressive. Very impressive. I want to open this one up to everybody. What's the celebration after the win? Do you have something planned already?
I think Italian. Is it Italian or is it? It's Italian. Okay, so we're gonna buck the trend. It's normally Korean barbecue, but I think we're doing Italian tonight. So.
Italian. All right. I'm gonna get everyone's orders. Bradley, you're up first. Pass the mic down. Hot seat. Tell me now.
I'm a bit of a like chicken or shrimp Alfredo kind of guy.
Okay.
Kind of.
All right. Respect.
I don't even know where we're going.
It's a place that I don't want to say it on camera, but it's a place we went to with Dokes, and you guys all got the exact same meal, so it's probably that one again.
What did we get though?
You guys got the braised short rib with
polenta
or whatever.
Either that or just pasta.
This is some coaching right here. This
is why you did this interview.
This is beautiful right now.
I think it was the braised ribs, which was really good. I'll get that.
I'll probably get the braised ribs and like maybe a pasta.
Yeah. For me, I'm looking at a carbonara probably.
I have a microphone. I don't know what I'll eat. I'll look at the menu when I get there, Kangas.
I don't know why I asked that one. Now I'm just hungry. But the big change, of course, this split is it's not the trophy. It is now the amulets. So I want to go down and just ask, where's everyone going to put the amulet? Is this going in your streaming setup? Is this going into the Team Liquid headquarters? Where's it going?
You need a microphone, Bradley. I'll start while it's not awkward. Fill some space for you, right?
Thank you.
I expect them to be worn to scrim every day. Yeah.
That's good.
I might forget to wear this to scrim every day.
Okay.
I'll just put it in my bedroom. I don't know where.
All right.
That's all I have.
Are either of you feeling drip? Like you're going to wear it out to like the club or anything? Like you're just going to show it off?
I'm not sure that's an effective strat, but we can try
I don't know. Have you tried it yet?
I haven't.
I think I'm gonna flex on everyone, and I'm just gonna wear it every day. It is a little heavy, so maybe I'm training my neck every day, so it should be good.
That's good. It's important.
I'll probably just leave it with my family, honestly. I'm really forgetful, so I'll probably lose it. So better safe to leave it with my family.
I'll be hanging out somewhere in my room. I think it's a really good reminder of what we've accomplished today. So every time I wake up, I'll be looking at it, and I'll feel very, very proud of myself.
The correct answer from all of you was you're going to bring it to the next LCS team that signs you, but I'll take all those as placeholders for right now. Congratulations to everybody up on stage for one final time. Round of applause, everybody, for everybody on this stage. Team Liquid Academy, an incredible proving ground split. Take a bow, guys.
This thing almost hit my head.
And with that, that will wrap up our interview on stage. We're going to send it back over to the analyst desk to wrap up Proving Ground Spring 2022.
Bye-bye.
We did it. It is the end, and Team Liquid Academy are the victors. What a split, what a season, and what a way for it to finish. I know we were talking before, script writes itself apparently in Academy. You get the best darn games you could ever possibly ask for, and I think it's so important.
I'm mad because the only person who got their prediction right is Steve, and now he's gonna make sure he lords that over us forever and a half.
Can we just keep him as Kungus? We don't need the analysis. But in all actuality, this is a huge moment for Team Liquid Academy, and also a huge moment for 100 Thieves Academy, who did come up short, but it is the fact they got to be here in the Proving Grounds finals. And Diamond, you being a player, what do you think Proving Grounds at this point means for players? What do you think this journey means for players?
I mean, I think getting to it like increases your brand. First of all, like it makes all the teams look at you, and I think as a player, that's what you need. You need like the teams to be aware of who you are and like what you can bring to a team. And if you manage to Grand Slam it, like get the whole thing, then like that's a really good look for you. And I think that's what like Proving Grounds is for, like just showing players and showing teams that I'm that good. You know, I'm that guy.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm really happy for both teams to make in finals. I think like for 100, even if you guys lost, it's like 2-2. So like, it's still a good look. And I mean, you guys got here with like 3 rookies, right? So that's really, like, it's very good. Like, you should be proud of this. And for 100, I mean, for TL, right? Just getting here with the roster and like proving everyone like Ayla's story, proving that he deserves to be in LCS, and like Jan like play with Orkorjay being here. I think, and like even Armao like proving that he can win in the end. Like, you know, like he deserves to be here. I think that's like really good for all of them, and I hope they find teams like coming to next split or next year. So
yeah, you hear Ayla say, you know, he's ready, but until then, he'll keep staying in Academy, keep some choice words. Magical. I do want to go. Do you have highlight players for this one? Because it is our last best of 5, and I think it's super huge to really show out some of these players that had the performance of a lifetime.
Well, I want to start with the 100 Thieves, right? Because this is the team that got so close to having back-to-back titles, one away. And respect to them, because they ran through the gauntlet, essentially. They started in the first round in the play-ins, made it all the way into the finals themselves, just to fall short. So Kenvi is the one I really have to give a huge shout-out. I think he was a big part of what got that team through that gauntlet, got them through all these games. Well, I think everyone does deserve some credit in their own rights for 100 Thieves. Kenvi, I really got my eyes on for the future. And then I look towards Team Liquid Academy, and who really stood out just in this series alone. Hayri was someone that I'm looking at like, yes, this guy has been performing well. His LeBlanc, his Ari are fantastic. But Jan was the standout player. His Zeri was absolutely nuts. And he got it every game, but it was just crazy to watch how aggressive he would play that champion.
Can you imagine that clip we got originally of him on Zeri, and now all the way to the Proving Grounds finals? He's playing it 4 games in a row and coming out with a victory. I think that's incredible. And Dime, I want to go back to you one last time and really talk about who you think stood out this time. I know you had some choice words, and maybe even on 100 Thieves side, you had some standouts.
I thought Jimin was like by far the best player in the series. I think like just overall, I thought he was like the series MVP. Like even though he lost, I thought in the last game he got kind of robbed. I think because he was like really, mid lane was an absolute kingdom that game. So honestly, like if I was him, I would be pretty bummed out that I lost that game because mid lane was not close. But I mean the rest of the team like faltered and like the early fight made it in his favor. But I thought he was by far the best, and I think his improvement over the split, like coming as like a import and like just showing up as an import, I think that's really important. And for TL, I thought that Ayla had a really good series actually, but I thought Yon as well was my pick because I thought like even though like his scores or whatever were not showing like how good he was playing, I thought like in team fights like his presence and like what he was bringing, he turned a lot of team fights by himself, and I thought that was very impressive.
He absolutely did. And welcome back, Kangas from the desk. Welcome back.
Yeah, super casual. Yeah, nobody noticed.
It was your turn to run from the stage here.
Exactly. Yeah. Now I'm huffing and puffing. I mean, I think the big shout out to 100 Thieves Academy is obviously that they made it to this point. After we've been talking throughout the whole broadcast this week, they were, if we just take the second round robin wins and losses, last place. They would not have been even like towards the top half of Academy, let alone, you know, like the team that we expect to make a run to the finals, push Team Liquid Academy, who's dominated everybody 2-5 games. And I think especially shout out to the rookies. I know that we've said that already, but that's the big thing that I want everybody to be walking away from this with. The rookies on 100 Thieves Academy are cracked, okay?
Hey, you got to give a lot of credit to them as well. They knocked out, what, the first, second, third, and fifth seeded teams from Academy. They were absolutely nuts throughout this entire time. So huge shout-outs to these rookie players. Huge shout-outs to Jimian coming in from the PCS as well. Huge shout-outs to Gomsu, this time having a full split with the Academy squad, but still performing amazingly. They did fantastic. It just happened to be that Team Liquid were that one obstacle, as Spawn was talking about on the stage with you, Kangas, that they have really grown into their own, and you cannot stop them.
Exactly that. But I want to go ahead and get as many people as we can from the Academy split, from Proving Grounds in here as a final goodbye, because yes, we say congratulations to Team Liquid Academy as they become the Proving Grounds Spring 2022 champions. And I just want to give a huge, huge shout out to Zach, Matt, the entire production team, Kelsey for being our producer, to everybody here at the studio, to everybody at Face It, every single audience member, and especially the teams that laid it all on the line tonight for the trophy and the prize. It's been an incredible split, and it's going to have to be an adieu for now. We will see you in summer and next time on Proving Grounds.
Woo! We did it! Yeah! Let's go!
Oh, we did it.
Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for, it has actually finally arrived. This is Grand Finals. Wixie's super critically low. Harry trying to get forward. Kenby will go down. And now the rest of 100 Thieves, but they take it out the back line, and there it is, Team Liquid Academy. Are we going to get a base race here? Or no, they just have to stall the Baron. They have to stall the game. It doesn't matter who gets the Baron. 100 Thieves are going to get it, but it's the teleport back. Harry and Bradley, can they make it happen? Gomsu's trying to clear the wave. They cleared it out. Oh my God, this is no way. This is not how it ends, right? Jimian is able to obliterate Harry. Meanwhile, on the other side, they've dealt with the base defense. 100 Thieves will save the game from ending.
100 Thieves are cleaning up the game.
You gotta respect it from TL. They had no other option. They're still trying to get in there, but it's not enough. 100 Thieves, they take game 2.
How much damage comes out from Team Liquid, and Harry just streamlined back into Wixie's heart, takes him out. And just like that, 100 Thieves, every time they think they have an angle to look for, Team Liquid thwart. The reinforcements here. Lance Respite is going to be huge. We'll look at the back line. Kenby still staying alive. He's flashing over the wall. He stays alive. 100 Thieves, the